Today I'm going to be going over the coolest new farm that I've found in the new league. It revolves around hunting for hives and juicing them to the extreme to get rewards like what you're seeing on the screen. Hives are hard to find, so I've done my best to make the strat as profitable as possible without needing them, with the hives being a bonus massive loot explosion every time you get it. I made around 1 divine per map over an 80 map sample size today, testing a bunch of different trees and scarab combinations, and I think I found a good enough version of the strat that's worth sharing. In the current state of the league, it's easily one of the better strategies. Although it can be a bit inconsistent, it has massive variance, so it's not something that I recommend to do 1 or even 10 maps off. You'd need a much larger sample size, and it's something that you need an extremely efficient build for also. I had 10 maps where I made like 3 divines profit, and then the following 10 I made 16 divines profit with like 2 hives, both boosted by bismuth ore. I've tried my best to lower that RNG factor though in the strat that I'll share today. Before I get into the strat, I want to say I recently joined the PoE Maxroll team. I guess this doubles as a face reveal too. Milky reached out to me last week. I got all onboarded the other day and I'm now making strats over there. Our goal is to have a massively comprehensive library of all the strategies, so any video I make from now on will end up having a Maxroll guide to go along with it, and hopefully by next league, if a strat exists, it's on here. And as you can see, my first one was the Kalgurin map farming strategy that I've made a couple of videos on. It's live right now. And of course, every Maxroll guide will be linked down below, and I will also continue to update my Google Docs. So, what's the strategy? First off, again, it's hard. It's mostly cheap, but it is hard, so not a lot of people watching this will be able to run it. It revolves around a sort of hybrid scarab and map farming strat, where you roll a high percent of maps, a high percent of scarabs, or the best case scenario, a mixture of both on any tier 16.5 that drops the fortress. You could do Canyon, Mesa, maybe even Silo, but probably not that. Dunes, anything that's got a pretty open layout with good mob density. I cycled between Canyon, Mesa, and Dunes myself. You then use the Cartography Scarab of Escalation, the Horn Scarab of Nemesis, 2 Wisps Scarabs, and a Kalgurin Scarab, and then Settler on the map device. Why do we run all of this and roller maps like that? Well, the strategy is inherently a fortress farming strat at its baseline to secure yourself a decent profit per hour. All of these 5 scarabs will help your general strategy of farming 4 fortresses. Escalation will grant more maps, Wisps will juice all of your mobs, Nemesis will juice your rares, which you're getting a bunch of, and Kalgurin will increase your odds for bismuth ore, which of course Settlers Craft will do too. Without finding a hive, you will still net a good amount of money that is above average in the current state of loot. And all of the scarabs outside Nemesis are dirt cheap. Fubgun uploaded a video earlier today and this went from like 2 chaos to 10 right now, but maybe they'll come back down. As for running the hives, there's a couple of important details. You want to clear the entire hive first before starting the encounter. You'll get like 2 dozen rares from doing this, then you'll get like 5 or so from the encounter itself. Then, when you're leaving the area, some rares on your path back will respawn, and you can get like another 5 to 10 rares. This is ultimately what results in the massive explosion at the end. And I'll go over the Atlas tree real quick. We go up the middle, we take the Scarab node, we take this map modifier effect node. As always, you gotta get as much map modifier effect when you're juicing this hard. We take some map nodes because again, it's sort of a hybrid Scarab and map farming. You need to farm for fortresses to make it extremely profitable when you don't have the hives themselves. We block off the worst Scarabs. You might want to block off Blight. It's something that I've been thinking about because the invigoration is only like 45C and you get so many, 0.5C blight scarabs that it doesn't feel great. But maybe you do block it, maybe you don't. It's sort of up to you. Take these scarab nodes right here. We take this, it gives us a chance at an extra ore deposit. And then this right here, I don't take. I've got a conspiracy theory, I guess, that this actually reduces your chance to get bismuth ore when you only take increased bismuth ore up here and you don't increase the vericium. Every time I have ran this, I get so much more vericium than I ever get for bismuth, so I don't take it, but you probably should. It's probably just me being a bit nuts. We take the scarab node up here, increase for bismuth, or we get the map modifier effect here. We take most of the quant wheel, we take this map node down here, we increase our chance for ambush scarabs. Most of them are just incredibly expensive. We increase our chance for cartography scarabs. Multitudes are like 4 chaos and risks are 30, although I've not really dropped any risks. I have no idea what the drop rates on them are this league. We take map modifier effect, we take 10% chance for extra 16.5, map modifier effect, increased scarabs, better rarity. We take the blue altars because increased quantity and duplication for scarabs and maps and currency. It's just incredibly good for the Hive running. This Atlas tree will be down below. It will be in my Google Docs as always. I've got everything written up here. Everything will be in my description. And as for the loot, there's not going to be a docs on it. I'm just going to go over PoE exchange snapshots since this video is less a full on guide and more me sharing my discovery of a cool strat in the current league and the state that I've pushed it to, so I wanted to sort of rush to get this one out. But in my first 50 maps, when I was constantly ping-ponging between variations in my setup, I made around 54 divines. You can see right here it's 45 divines. Then after I actually liquidated it all through Faustus, it was actually 55 divines. That was in 50 maps. It didn't take long. My time per map was only a few minutes, but I was, flapping around. I didn't really play extremely consistently today, but I think it could have been a bit more if I had settled on my setup sooner. If we're to take this and then the investment and minus it, I think the investment, it was around 15 chaos per map. I just searched Canyon, Mesa, whatever tier 16.5 drops Fortress on the trade site. 15 chaos per map. At the time it was only like 2 chaos per nemesis, but I'm going to use the current price, which is around 8. And the Settler's Craft is around 5. So that's around 28 chaos, and then the remaining are probably like 2 chaos each. So we'll just say 35 chaos investment. That sounds good. That's around, at the current price of divines, around 12.5 divines investment, which means in 50 maps, a few minutes per map, we profited around 43 divines, give or take a little bit, which is incredible. For this league, in the current state of loot, we have confirmed loot buffs coming, including an explosion buff for Breach, which I hope this video does not affect that. I hope they do not see the Hive explosions at the start and they're like, it doesn't need any help. I hope they don't do that because I will feel incredibly guilty. But considering the state of the league and the state of loot, that is incredibly good. I'm not sure if I got lucky. I snapshotted 2 sets of 10 maps, right? And the 2 sets of 10 maps that I snapshotted, these were the worst 10 maps I ran during the whole session, right? Over my total 80 map session, these were the worst 10 maps. I made around 6.3 divines an hour, which was probably like 4 divines an hour minus the investment. It was pretty bad because I dropped to like 1 fortress or 2 at the very end in a total of 10 maps. That should not happen. I didn't find a single hive, so this is the extreme low end. It's the variance that I've been talking about. And then the best 10 maps was 19 divines an hour. I made 10 divines in just over half an hour, which is incredible. I found I found 2 hives. One had bismuth with it. It was probably one of the crazy explosions you saw at the beginning. And even then, I only actually dropped to 1 tier 17. It says that's not right. There's no way that's right. Um, but yeah, 10 divines from that. That's the variance. It can it can be pretty crazy. And a quick summary to end the video. You want to farm for hives and you want to juice them as much as possible. You do this with 2 Wisps, 1 Nemesis, 1 Escalation, 1 Kalgurin, and the Settlers map craft. You run any tier 16.5 that drops the Fortress. They were around 15 chaos each. For me, I think they're up to around 20. You can keep costs pretty low if you run Beach. Beach is a natural tier 16. It drops the Abomination, which last time I checked was around 40 chaos. So what you could do is buy all of the rubbish tier 16.5 layouts for 5 chaos each and then Horizon Orb them into Beach. It's a good layout. It will be really good for running your breaches also. We run blue altars for the quantity, regular chisels, we roll high maps, high scarabs, or a combination of the two, and we apply one Deli Orb. Again, it's hard and it is extremely high variance. You can get a set of 10 maps where you only make like 3 Divines Profit, and then you can get a set of 10 where you make like 8 Divines Profit, or maybe more. I never got a Wildwood Wisp to line up with the Hive. If I did, I can't imagine the type of loot explosions you could possibly get. I'm putting this in A tier mainly because of the variance, but I do think in the current league with the state of loot, it is closer to S, even though this has high variance. Most strategies do. Also, before I forget, GGG said they'd buff loot explosions, and if they buff the Hive ones, this is going to be one of the best strategies in the game for the league, probably. It's something that I'll probably run a lot just to get the data, and it's something that in future leagues, if they add a Hive Scarab, and with Breach going core, it will get Atlas passives. This is definitely something to keep a mind on for 3.28. And that's pretty much the video. Again, I do want to stress, if you're going to try this out, know what you're getting yourself into. High variant, all of that. I don't want to burn some people with this. It's more of a proof of concept about how far you can take juicing breach currently. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. Again, I never got a Wildwood Wisp. I barely ever got the Bismuth to line up. I used one Daily Orb and I didn't even use Beyond. I think Beyond might be the way to push this further. I didn't even roll my map stats directly. I think I didn't get a single Hive spawning on a high scarab percent chance map. I think the highest was just like double digits before all of the map modifier effect took into place. But that's the video. If you enjoyed watching, or if the strat works for you, if you try it later on, consider subscribing and liking. Thanks.